Between February and March 2019, 280 Christians were killed in Jos Plateau State. Fulani militants killed 20 Christians overnight in a single attack on March 16th in Kaduna State. And between February 10 and March 16, 40 Christians were killed in 2 other attacks in Kaduna State. The International Criminal Court documented 205 killings in at least 60 attacks by Boko Haram and Fulani militants in February. Of these, Boko Haram killed 126, including 83 civilians, and Fulani militants were said to be responsible for 79 of these fatalities. The report said there was no major attempt by the Nigerian government to hold anyone accountable, and it had done little to protect the Christians. This recent development led another security watchdog, Open Doors, to rank Nigeria 12th in its World Watch list of 50 countries where it is most dangerous to live as a Christian. According to Global Terrorism Index of 2015, Nigeria ranked 3rd most terrorized country. According to the Nigeria's Daily Punch newspaper investigation, no fewer than 22 clergymen have been kidnapped in the last 1 year. Less than a month ago, the prelate of the Methodist Church, Nigeria, Samuel Kanuche, was kidnapped and released after a payment of 100 million naira ransom.
When I was with the captives, surrounded by 8 small boys. None of the boys was up to the age of my first son. They are all men. And they were telling me, don't look at their face. Bend down. I said, yes, sir. Move. I said, yes, sir.
This was followed by the abduction of the Anglican Bishop of Jeba, Diocese in Kwara State, Right Reverend Oluwaseun Aderogba, Catholic priest, the camp chairman Jos East, James Kantoma, and Reverend Father Christopher Onotu of Our Lady of Perpetual Help in Kogi State were kidnapped in June 2022. 2 Catholic priests from Sokoto Diocese, Stephen Ojapa and Oliver Opara, including 2 boys, were abducted at St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Gideon Mekambo in Katsina State on May 25, 2022. In Ondo State, Anglican priest and his son, Venerable Ulu Obanla, were kidnapped along Efo Okelushe Road on May 22. May 8, Catholic priest Alphonsus Obo of St. Pius Catholic Church in Ikot Abbas was abducted. The same month, Anglican clergyman Venerable Benjamin Idume, vicar of St. James Church Asokoro, Abuja, was kidnapped but released after a few days, with no clue whether ransom was paid. The founder of Solid Rock Church, John Okoriko, was kidnapped in Akwa Ibom in April and freed after payment of 10 million naira. In Kaduna, Catholic priest Joseph Bako of St. John's Catholic Church, Kudenda, and Felix Zakari of the Diocese of Zaria were abducted between March 8 and 24, 2022. In Niger State, Catholic priest Leo Ozigi of St. Mary's Catholic Church, Sharikin Power Village, was kidnapped and freed after an undisclosed amount was paid. On October 9, 2021, gunmen invaded Christ the King Major Seminary and abducted 5 seminarians. 1 Michael was killed, but the other 4 were later freed. A Catholic priest, Godfrey Chimeze of St. Teresa's Catholic Church, Umuahia, was kidnapped in October 2021, while Islamic cleric Hussein Abdul Jalil and his friend Ilyas Jamil were kidnapped in Ayetoro on December 18, 2021. Another Muslim cleric, alongside 11 other people, were kidnapped in separate attacks at Sabombirini area of Sokoto State on December 13, 2021. The list doesn't end there. National Vice President of the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria, John Praise Daniel, says Nigeria has become a jungle where evil has found refuge.
We must go after those kidnappers. We must go after those armed robbers. We must go after all those bandits and ensure that there is peace in our land. It is very unfortunate that government is not living up to its biddings. If they are from outside the country, that's what they should be dealt with. They cannot come from outside the country and receive more accolades. Deal with them decisively.
Recently, in Enugu State, 6 Catholic pilgrims were kidnapped at the pilgrimage site in our hometown in Udi local government area. It took the efforts of the state forest guards to rescue them. Gunmen abducted and killed 2 Catholic priests, Christopher Odia of Auchi Diocese and Vitus Borogo of Kaduna Catholic Diocese, And when you factor in the killings of scores of worshippers at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, in Ondo State on Pentecost Sunday, one begins to wonder where all this is heading.
While there is generalized insecurity in the land, Christians are bearing the brunt of the attacks. We've had cases of priests kidnapped. We have the case of a priest kidnapped in Kaduna. He was said to have died in the hands of the kidnappers. The Archbishop of Kaduna up to now has not been able to retrieve the body for proper burial.
The silence of the Vatican is all that is also a cause for many to worry.
The two priests that have been killed, this all featured very prominently in the official bulletins of the Vatican. I'm reading them, I'm seeing them, with their photographs showing. If what you are asking is whether the Pope should make a specific statement to the government of Nigeria, we don't know whether it is being done. As you know, we have a nuncio here who carries messages between the Holy See and our government.
In the last 1 week, 4 Catholic priests were abducted. Emmanuel Silas of St. Charles Catholic Church, Zambina in Kafanchan, kidnapped on July 4, was rescued the next day. Reverend Father Luigi Brina of Archdiocese, abducted on July 4, also regained freedom on July 5. 2 other priests, Philemon Obo of St. Joseph's Catholic Church, Uboha, in Eastern South, and Udo Peter of St. Patrick's Catholic Church, Urumi, kidnapped on July 3, are yet to be freed. This ugly trend has led to the U.S. Department of State, in a letter dated last month, seems to suggest Washington believes that deliberate acts of deadly violence are being committed against Nigerian Christians. It hinges its argument on the senseless murder of worshippers at St. Francis Catholic Church, Owo, Ondo State. The letter states that religious violence and intolerance towards Nigerian Christians has worsened in recent times. John Cardinal said the lawlessness of kidnapping, fueled by economic crisis, police inaction, and government's refusal to intervene, is largely responsible for the escalation in the violent attacks. He says, the evil-minded persons may have claimed the lives of many Christians, especially Catholics, both lay and clergy, but pointed out that this will not deter the Church from propagating the gospel, which is the core mandate of the Catholic priest, adding that the day Catholic priests are ordained, as they lay face down, they have chosen to die for the gospel. So killing a priest is like killing an already dead man. The debate on whether these abductions and killings are done randomly can only be determined when perpetrators of these heinous crimes are apprehended, investigated, and brought to justice. Until then, there will continue to be speculations of Christians being targeted victims of these recent violent crimes. Komobasi, AIT News, Abuja.